Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta sa inyong lahat? Are you about to throw your entire asteroid stash into the gotcha pit for Lupa? Pause. Breathe. This video might just be the last thing standing between you and a catastrophic case of post-pull regret, or possibly the gateway to unleashing your next main DPS goddess. Let me explain. Lupa, the enigmatic clawed beast of Fusion Carnage, is arriving like a firestorm wrapped in fur and angst. She's got the design, she's got the backstory, she's got the animations that make you want to uninstall every other game just out of visual shame. But is all that aesthetic firepower backed up by a kit that'll carry you through the abyss? Or is it just another glorified side grade disguised in S tier sparkle? Let's talk damage. Because at the end of the day, no matter how emotionally gripping her story is, if she can't delete bosses faster than your patience during a daily grind, she's staying benched. Lupa hits hard, like Fusion baby Jinshi with rage issues hard. Her kit centers around ramping up quick bursts of AoE mayhem with combo mechanics that make her feel snappy, responsive, and let's be honest, kinda addictive. She's the kind of unit that rewards you for aggressive play, punishes you for hesitating, and then pets your head for doing it right. But before we scream, Meta Queen, let's remember that Fusion as an element is notoriously chaotic. It has high potential, yes, but only when paired with the right enablers. So, unless you've got Brant chilling in your archives, or worse, unless you're planning to pull for him next, you might not see the full fireworks show. It's like buying a Ferrari and trying to fuel it up with tap water. She can pop off, but she won't do it alone. And this isn't the first time. We have Carlotta and Shakona, Zani and Phoebe. And now, we have Brant and Lupa. With all the Jinshi comparisons out there, the big question is, will she be better than Jinshi? Well, that's where things get spicy. Jinshi is structured, precise, a mechanical goddess of order and radiant destruction. Lupa, on the other hand, is chaos incarnate. She's raw, instinctual, and totally reliant on flow. If Jinshi is a well-orchestrated opera, Lupa is a rock concert in a lightning storm. They're not here to replace each other. They're here to give you a choice: methodical dominance or explosive anarchy. And as for team building, because Lupa isn't a lone wolf, no matter how feral she looks, her ideal companions, Brant, maybe Changli, perhaps Encore, all of whom help grease the wheels of her Fusion Carnage. If you're feeling particularly bold or just like living on the edge, throw in Shorekeeper or Verena for some techie sustain. Sanhua works surprisingly well as a transitional support, especially if you're committing to Brant as a mainstay. Meanwhile, Yinlin provides strong non-fusion support with attack buffs and liberation amplification. Perfect if you're building Lupa to burst hard and fast. But here's the catch. Lupa demands clean uptime. She needs teammates, preferably Fusion aligned, who can smooth out her downtime, extend her damage windows, and funnel her energy like a pit crew of a flaming NASCAR race. If you're low on synergy options, or your account is running on fumes after the last limited banner, Carlotta, summoning Lupa could leave you in a rough spot. You might end up playing solo Lupa, hero mode, with no real backup dancers and no safety net. And as powerful as she is, even Lupa can't claw her way through endgame solo forever. Now, Let's talk synergy. Brant and Lupa are practically made for each other. Brant is like Lupa's enabler in chief, feeding her energy, building her combo momentum, and boosting her fusion output to ungodly levels. He ensures her uptime is fluid and her burst rotations don't get bogged down. He fills her downtime with free damage and buffs, and in return, Lupa capitalizes on every opening he creates. The result is a core that cycles cleanly, hits hard, and barely gives enemies a chance to breathe. If you already have Brant, Lupa isn't just an upgrade, she's the logical evolution. But without Brant, expect to work a bit harder. You'll need to cover Lupa's gaps through creative echo loadouts, strategic support shuffling, and maybe a few tears. She doesn't crash and burn without Brant, but she certainly doesn't soar either. Let's dive into the full synergy trifecta. Lupa, Brant, and Changli. This trio has the potential to form one of the smoothest DPS rotations in the game, if played right. Changli isn't just tossing around generic buffs. She significantly enhances fusion damage and boosts liberation output, which perfectly aligns with Lupa's bursty, high-risk, high-reward kit. In this DPS by committee setup, you start with Brant to set the stage, activating skill and forte, generating resonance energy, and establishing his shield. Then you pivot to Changli, who thrives on the resonance buffs Brant provides. With her buffs in play, Changli dishes out her signature attacks, priming the field for Lupa. Once Lupa enters, she capitalizes on both fusion and liberation buffs, unleashing a storm of enhanced damage. After her burst, you circle back to Brant, now empowered by the lingering fusion and basic attacks buffs in the rotation cycle. The end result? A dynamic loop where each member hands off power to the next like a perfectly timed relay race. One that, if executed cleanly, leaves very little breathing room for your enemies. Kuro Games has a tendency to drop a unit, let them shine, then follow up with someone who makes you question your entire account strategy. Lupa might be the queen right now, but whispers of Galbrena, a purebred fusion DPS, are already threatening her crown. If Galbrena turns out to be that apex unit, Lupa won't be benched. She'll be her setup partner, keeping fusion uptime smooth and energy flowing. In the meantime, Lupa and Changli overlap heavily in playstyle, but are bursty, fusion-aligned brawlers. Together with Brant, they form a deadly relay team, each dishing out massive bursts between 200,000 and 300,000. But if Galbrena's tempo clashes with Changli's slower style, Changli might become more of a luxury add-on than a core piece. Bottom line, if you love Lupa, go for it, but don't expect her reign to last forever. The next fusion queen might already be waiting backstage, and I'm talking about Galbrena. And yet, sometimes it's not about longevity. Sometimes it's about the now, about having fun with a character whose kit makes you excited to log in. If that's what Lupa is for you, then forget future proofing. Pull her, build her, dominate with her. So what's the verdict? If you love fast, aggressive gameplay, have a Brant or solid synergy characters, and you're emotionally invested in using a character who looks like she could eat the sun for breakfast, yes, Lupa is well worth it. She's a spectacle, a mechanical joyride, and potentially a game changer. But if you're low on resources, missing key support units, or just came out of a brutal banner cycle, you may want to sit this one out because Lupa isn't a plug and play powerhouse. She's a high-stakes investment. So, pull wisely, my friend. If this video was helpful and entertaining for you, please don't forget to leave a like, comment your plans for Lupa, and subscribe for more Wuthering Waves updates. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.